Good eats, good eats. So recently I saw something on Instagram that caught my attention. You know those little note thingies? These things right here? One of them said to love someone is to see them as God intended. But what if they're invisible? Food for thought. I want you guys to open your minds today and think of all the reasons why you feel like you couldn't become a content creator. Because let's be honest here, if your reasons sound like, well, I need new gear, I need a creative space, I don't have the time, then I heavily consider you stay on this video to gain some encouragement from someone who struggles with the same aspects as you and can empathize with you. Creating content is hard. So let's debunk them. Content creation is saturated, but then again, it really isn't. Let's just be honest with ourselves. From one creator to another, what does that really have to do with you? Absolutely nothing. So in a way, you're telling me that the reason why majority of people don't start on their content creation journey is because they're afraid of being worse than the next guy? That's crazy. Let's look at this from a logical standpoint. Currently, right now, as I'm making this video, there are 8 billion people that walk on this earth. And you're telling me that no one's gonna watch your videos? So many people, in fact, you shouldn't even worry about what kind of video you're making anyway. It's going to land on somebody's page. If it doesn't, then simply put, your video's kind of stinky. Y'all are not shadow banned, bro. Which kind of brings me to the point of this video. You're invisible. And that's okay. In the same logic that we just said, there's 8 billion people, you should be able to say that there's so many people, no one cares. Like no one really cares. People are socially engineered to like people all the time. So when making content, it's almost like nobody knows you until you give them a reason to. So how do we fix this problem? By making videos. Yes. Wait. So let me get this straight. All of that pre-planning that I'm doing for my first epic content creation comeback, no one really cares. This video is kind of ironic. Introducing my second point. You do not need the best gear ever. You don't need the newest cameras, you don't need the newest lights, you don't need anything like that. Just pick up the camera and create shit. For some reason as creators, we just love to completely forget that you have to start somewhere. When I first started my content creation journey, I didn't really have much. I only had my Lenovo laptop. It's pretty shitty at the time. I only used it to edit videos in Sony Vegas and stuff like that. I was also making videos on TikTok at the time, so that was helping a lot with getting gear in the first place. But if you would have told me 4 years ago that I was going to be able to afford a cinema camera, that I was going to be able to afford half the things that are in my room right now, I would look at you like you're crazy. Especially a senior in high school, coming right out of high school. I was broke. I was broke. With that being said, I'm no one special. But I believe that creativity is acceptance of oneself, because how can you truly say you're creative if you don't accept yourself? Creativity is the literal culmination of self-expression. You can literally express yourself with this. Now, unfortunately, this is where you have to be honest with yourself. A lot of us don't like to create. A lot of us like the results of creation, but very few of us actually like the process. Let's talk about excuses. Now, although I can't speak for everyone's schedule, one thing that I've learned over the years is that everything that you do is content. Most people try to create content without even forming the title. You need to know what your video is going to look like before you even make it. But this is why we struggle with content ideas and consistency. Right now, we live in a world where people are literally going viral for doing absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. You want me to name some brain rot trends for you? Skibbity toilet, Quandale dingle, mewing. Jesus is going to come back and give us the great flood of 2036. So what do you mean you don't have time? Raise your hand if you've been overthinking it. Because I have a tendency to overlook the one thing that makes content creators fucking creating something. Could you believe that someday these videos are gonna have ads? This shit's so scuffed. All jokes aside, can I be honest with y'all? I am now 22 years old, and 10 years ago is when God gave me the dream to be a YouTuber. And 10 years later, I am far from that. And I'm okay with that. But recently, I was faced with an ultimatum. I could either invest into something and risk my money, or invest into something and risk my time. If I'm being honest, this is one of the first times in my life where I feel like I'm actually 100% doing me. And my long time goal was just to be able to do what I love with the people that I love. So when it boils down to risking my time or money, I feel like the only right answer is to really risk my time. What's the whole point of making videos in the first place? Why would they watch me when they could watch somebody else? To be someone's shadow? That doesn't make sense. You might as well be invisible. Here's where I'm at, guys. I think there is a unexplainable beauty to being a content creator because one, it's not easy. And not anyone can just pick up a camera and speak in front of it like it's an actual person. That takes years of experience, that takes years of being in front of the camera. It doesn't just happen, it comes to you. But also there's beauty in the unknown. Since I don't know about it, I ain't gotta think about it. There's also a greater meaning behind that. Because I know that God is shaping my future and he's guiding me, I no longer have to worry about that stress of where am I going to be? I don't know where I'm going to be, but I know God's got me. Once you give all that to God, you don't gotta worry about the what ifs anymore. Which is why there's no excuse that you and I cannot become the people who we see ourselves being. End all be all, I'm just glad I hit the record button. Ooh, that was a good one. If you guys made it this far in the video, comment down a heart emoji because we spread the love out here. Also, feel free to follow me on all my socials left down in the description. Just don't forget to hit the record button. You know what I'm talking about. I'm watching you. Left my coffee. Oh, and hit that subscribe button. Okay, bye.